There's I think, pretty cool thing now available starting in IGEMS build 4.4405. I've got 4.406 installed here. But if you go into your parametric shape library, if you've used this before, these shapes will look a little bit different color scheme, and these are now using a Python script. With that, probably be a little bit easier if you want to make your own custom shapes and put them in here. Previously, you'd have to maybe contact IGEMS directly, or you could write something in C#, or you could do something in Lisp. But I think with the Python scripting that they have here, be a little bit easier for users to add and modify shapes. And first of all, if we double click on one of these shapes here, same basic idea here as far as the different dimensions you enter. Let's say change one of the things. One cool feature now is you've got this click to preview, so if I click and hold, left click and hold on that, then it shows the updated image based on the numbers that I've entered here. And then down here at the bottom, click on default, it'll put back to the default values that were in that shape. And let's cancel out of here. Let's say we want to modify this shape here. Maybe we want a hole in the middle here by default, and there is no shape that already has that. What you can do is down here in the corner, you can click on this, and first of all, you'll probably want to make a new folder where you can put your own shapes, keep them separate from the standard shapes so that your shape doesn't get potentially overwritten. I'm going to click on new folder, and I will call this my shapes. And then if we go back to the standard and click on open folder, this is where the standard shapes are, and here's the 005 that we want to modify, and I'm going to copy that into that new folder that I made. So do copy, and you can either go back into here and go and open the new folder, or just show you where that is. It's under your shared folder, so go into shared, and then you'll have this Python shapes folder now, and there's that my shapes folder that I just made, and we'll go ahead and paste that in there. And I'm also going to change the name of it a little bit, stick a my in front of it. And now if we come back into here, into my shapes, there's my 005, and you can double click on it, and then we can click here and edit the code. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about all the different things you can do in here, because there is some great documentation on the IGEMS website. Over, I think, the past year, they've been doing a great job as far as putting a ton of documentation onto their website. If you go to the support area and I start typing in Python, for example, lo and behold, they've got a page. I was going to email them and ask them some questions, but I was like, I better go to the website first and see if they've already got some stuff set up, and they do. So they've got a whole lot of information here as far as programming or modifying these parametric shapes. So there's a whole lot of stuff you can do in here. Just to give you a quick overview of a couple of things, and tuck that over there just so we can see the side by side here. Alright, back into there, double click on that. First of all, we want a circle in the middle here. I'll come up to here and lin par, and we're going to call it the F dimension. And then this is going to be the default value. The first number is the default value for millimeters, and the second number is your default value for inches. That would be a 2-inch diameter circle there. And then down here is where it actually creates the geometries. You got circles here. Now, one thing to note that got me when I was first playing with this is you'll see that there are spaces in front of here. First time that I tried doing this, basically my Notepad++ is set up to put a tab there, and if you do a tab, it is not going to work right. So for example, if I just do the exact same thing as what's on that line there, just call my E dimension divided by 2, and I will save it, and then I'll come back here, can click down here to refresh, and inconsistent use of tabs and spaces in the indentation. So you might also get that. because I think before I was out here and then you had this error here and you double click on it, it gives you that error. And that is all because of, rather than having spaces here, I've got tabs. So there is a setting if you are using Notepad++ where you can have tabs replaced by spaces, or we'll just do spaces and then save, and then come over here, refresh, voila. Now I've got two circles on top of each other, but just want to show that. So we want a circle, and this is going to be F dimension, and then we're going to place it in the middle, and so that is going to be A divided by 2, and then B divided by 2. And then circles are radii, so we're going to take our F dimension, or F diameter, and divide it by 2 to give us radius. So let's save that and refresh. Oh, okay, let's see. Let's just cancel out of here. So if you're getting that, then yes. Takes exactly 3 and 4 given. Okay, because I did circle, I did F. Doing it on the fly here. This should be the circle center. A2 divided by B2. And then F2 the radius. Alright, so refresh. Voila. Okay. There we go. Circle center X, circle center Y, and then the radius. And then for dimensions, that's this stuff down here. True and the false relate to the location of the dimension line, reference to the geometry. Dimension B, which is set to true, means it's to the left of it. False means it's to the right of it. We're looking at it from this way, going that way, right. And then maybe the C dimension, if I want to move that up a little bit more from the part, we can adjust that with this value here. Save that and refresh. If I want to move the D out a little bit more, let's change that to 100. And then we want to put a dimension on our new circle here. Hit enter and replace the tabs with spaces. Oops. You do have to be careful about uppercase versus lowercase. Diameter F. And so that's the letter that it's going to put on the dimension line, which you could make it anything you want. And then this is going to be the center point of the dimension on whatever thing you're trying to mention when it's a radius. In this case, it's going to be the A divided by 2, B divided by 2, and then the width or the length of that dimension line, which essentially is going to be equal to that diameter, F. And save it and refresh. Let's see, I got the ID, I got the X and the Y, and then the F. Oh yes, then yeah, so I have to get the angle, so 45 degrees. Let's make this one 135, and then this is the offset from the geometry. That's what you can change that there. If we want it to be a little bit further away, we can adjust that. Refresh. If you want to change the angle, how it is, that's that one. So it's pretty handy stuff that you can do here. Save that, refresh, and then you've got your new shape. So click OK. So that's a fun new thing in the latest version of IGEMS. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.